Hi, thanks for joining me. In this video, we're going to discuss the 3D trick. If you haven't done so already, show a little channel love by hitting the like and the subscribe button. Now, what do I mean by the 3D trick? Tricking the eye of the viewer. That's what I mean. You're making a flat object on a flat surface look like it has some girth to it. It doesn't look flat when you're finished with it, all right? That is one of the biggest challenges that you will face as an artist. One of, okay? And that is what makes your paintings believable when someone looks at them. It could be some weird object that you just created out of the ethers, but if you use just the simple little tricks, elements of design, and little techniques, it will make the object believable. So you accomplish this by using multiple shades or tones. And I, as the lazy artist, will use 3. If you stick with the 3 shades or tones for each object, then you can accomplish this with no problem. Now, the other thing is to follow the shape. You pretend that you're sculpting this object or creating this object from clay. That's how you do it. When you use your colors or choose your colors, you want to make it easy because you need a light shade, a medium, and a darker shade. Now, all I'm going to do is apply it to the surface. And remember, we're going to use what we always say, follow the shape or the contour of the object. For this cone, the darkest areas are going to be outside. Those 2 outside areas are going to be the darkest areas. I need that here. Follow the contour all the way up. Come here on this side. It's going to be the darkest areas. They're going to be the furthest away from the viewer. Follow the contour that way. Now I'm going to come to this middle color because it's going to come on next. Following the contour all the way up on both sides. And here is going to be the lightest color. And my lightest color is this one. And I'm going to follow the contour, but I'm going to put it right there in the middle. Sometimes you just have to look. Everything has a little deviation from the norm, as they call it. Then I will use my blending techniques either with a brush or my finger and come in here and blend this line up, tap this line up, back and forth across. Check out the video that I had on there. These 2, I work on both sides, then to the middle. Why? Because I have this colored paint. I'm working in these 2. And then I come here in the middle. I'm going to cover up. See where I missed these spots at? I wasn't worried because that's a little, those areas that I didn't cover are really narrow, and my tapping is going to get rid of that. Again, you can use a brush, or you can use a man-made brush, or you can use this natural brush that you have. To get the effect that you want. And this is just one layer. This was let's see, let's add some more. If you add more paint to it, you don't want to be stingy with your paints, but you want to be able to have enough so that this would look solid. That's all, that would look solid. I'm not concerned with the brush marks in here. I'm just concerned with showing you how to make that pop off the surface. and look 3D. Now, the other thing you'd have to do for this to look 3D is it needs to be grounded. And to ground this would mean you need to place a shadow on it. I don't want to run over into this one, so I'll place the shadow back here. Now, when you do a shadow, the shadow mimics the object, which means the shadow is identical to the object. I'm going to come from the base of this and go outward. Remember, the angle of the shadow is going to matter also. You don't want to put the shadow up here like this, because that doesn't look. It looks like a shadow from a distance. It'll tell you what direction the sun is and what time of day it is. So to make it easier, sometimes the viewers are lazy. So we're going to do a lazy painter's way. We're going to lay the shadow down on the ground. It has to go from the base of the object. It has to come from the object. It cannot be here. That does not look like a shadow because it's not attached. The shadow is always attached to the object. Now it looks more believable. And that's your goal. Now it's grounded. It's attached to the object. The shadow is darker, but for this demo, I'm just leaving it at the same color as the darkest shade in there. It's something that may help you. I want the shadow to come around this way. Sometimes I do this just to keep myself on track. The shadow is going to come this way. That means this has to be my lightest side. So therefore, I have to move this. See how I did that? Only because I don't want to run it into that cone over there. So the light is going to come from this direction. It's going to cast a shadow in the opposite direction. Your shadow is always in the opposite direction of your light. So the light is coming from here. The shadow is going there. I'm going to take this dark side over here. That's the shadow side. So that's the side that has the deepest, richest, darkest color. And then I'm going to take the next color and put it right there next to it. And my lighter color, I'm going to come right here and place it there. And you can blend with the brush. I will tell you that's my weak point, blending with a brush. I tend to lose, and I do mean lose patience with blending with the brush. It just takes a little extra time and effort and practice. Or I can come in with my natural brush, making sure that the paints are wet, and blend that way. Each of these techniques has its pros and cons. And of course, grounding it, that also helps it look 3D. Use the correct brush, follow the contour. See how that dark start coming over there? I'm working on a plastic surface. If I was working on a fully canvas surface, I wouldn't have that lifting up of the paint so much because I'm not waiting for it to dry. That gives you your more 3D look when you're using those 3 different colors. Light, 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 light touch. And I must say that sometimes you may have to use a combination of your natural brush with the man-made brush to get the effect that you want. And then we just reapply. It transitions from light to dark. That's how you get the 3D look. Making sure to ground it with, that's just one of the finishing touches with the shadow. It makes it more believable. Hopefully this helps you. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.